have not been possible without my spa.
Thank you, my spa.
Full of color and glamour, the traditional Batsonga music and dance event Makwaya is a celebration of culture and community, passed down from generation to generation. Makwaya is about more than just song and dance. It's a way of life. Makwaya, Sunday at 6:30 on E!
You need to get your man something that he can't really get anywhere else. Come on, you're gonna drop down low, sweep the floor with it. Something like a six-pack under that suit. Let me touch it.
Let's stay together. Saturday at 7:30 on E!
The beginning of the year brings about a lot of financial responsibility and all the with it. This is especially heightened when financial provision has to be made for studying further. Now, this morning we look at bursaries available in the field of accounting through the Thuthuka Bursary Fund, and joining us to talk more on that is Nthato Selebi, the Thuthuka Bursary Fund Project Director. You can keep in touch with us on our Facebook and Twitter pages. We'll cross over to read some of your questions and your comments. Thank you so very much for joining us, and welcome.
Thank you for inviting me.
As we were speaking of age, just to get a picture of how successful this bursary fund has been throughout the years.
Yeah, Thuthuka Bursary Fund was started in 2005, started with 123 students at 3 universities. We are currently sitting with 9 universities that are supporting the program, and each year we are actually taking in at least 350 students. We have about 400 students that are busy with their articles towards qualifying as chartered accountants. This year we will have over close to 1,200 students that we are supporting between first year and fourth year. And last year we had 6 students qualifying as chartered accountants, and between January last year and now we will be getting new stats to see how many more have qualified since then. So it's been quite successful and has basically touched every part of the country, which is what we're very, very proud of.
Now, for students who go through the Thuthuka Bursary Fund or the program thereof, what happens to them once they qualify as chartered accountants? Are they left for their own devices to find their own work, or are they absorbed into some system?
You know, one of the things that's awesome about the profession that I represent today is that there's a shortage. There's a massive shortage of chartered accountants in the country, not just in the country, in the world. And therefore, when you go into this profession and you make it that far, the world is your oyster. I've got about 4 or 5 students who have qualified through the Thuthuka Bursary Fund who are now abroad, have been employed by multinationals. Every single one of those guys that have qualified that are in the country are gainfully employed. Some are in the education, because that's where they feel most comfortable, so they're now qualifying as professors, if you will. So we know that if you qualify as a chartered accountant, you will definitely be employed somewhere in the world. We hope that it's in South Africa, but yeah, the world is your oyster.
And I'm sure our viewers at home have a lot of questions that they'd like to ask. So Cindy is standing by in our reception area looking at our Facebook page just to get a few of those questions. It's over to you, Cindy.
Thanks so much, Ayanda. Now, looking at our Facebook page, and you as well at home, you can send your messages at facebook.com/ETV Sunrise. Looking at bursaries specifically in the accounting field, unfortunately, a lot of our viewers wanting to know, does it cover other areas as well? But for this discussion, it is only accounting. But your questions or comments, Sepo says, what are the requirements and what do I need to qualify for the bursary? Tabo wants to know, can they provide us with internship? And Tabo's looking for opportunities in marketing. Jabo says, good morning, Team Sunrise. I'd like to know bursaries you're offering. Do they have specific age limit or time in which you can finish your matric? So in other words, can you be pre-approved for a bursary, as it were? And Welcome says, if available, how many will pass, or how many bursaries do you have set aside? I think that's the nature of that question. Ian Kumalo says, why should I, or what should I have to obtain a bursary? Again, about the requirements and obligations on those applying. Other questions? Yes, unfortunately, folks, this time around it's only for accounting, but we'll try and pursue other opportunities as well. So it's back to you in the studio.
All right, thank you so very much, Cindy. A lot of viewers at home asking about the requirements or the standards that they would need to meet to qualify for those bursaries. So what are the requirements?
Well, the requirements are pretty basic, honestly. First and foremost, you must have mathematics. Not maths literacy, you must have core maths. And you must have performed at least a 60%, because that at least puts you on average in terms of what we need, but that people are, attaining more than 60%. And also you have to have obviously attained a bachelor's entrance, which we used to call an exemption back in the days. And those are basically the two major requirements. Obviously we're looking at African and colored students, particularly for the Thuthuka Bursary Fund, because we have that issue with regards to the past in trying to redress the Institute of Chartered Accountants does not have anywhere near enough the number of African and colored chartered accountants, so that's why it is we're focusing on those two race groups. And basically be accepted at one of the universities which we work with, and then from then on, it's us basically making sure we give you all the necessary support for you to not only graduate but to ultimately qualify as a chartered accountant.
Is there a particular time period, time frame, or age, time or space that you need to be in order to qualify for that bursary?
Yeah, for us I think it's very crucial, and that's why we always focus on matriculants, because the program itself, other than just the funding, is a program. You have to live on campus, so you can't live at home. Even if you are around close to where the university is, you have to live on campus, because the program itself is a lot more intensive. It's not just us giving you money. Secondly, part of what you also need to understand is you're studying full-time. So if you're not in a position to study full-time and you have family responsibilities and so forth, it's going to be very difficult for you to do it. Although we don't have an age limit where we say people can't do it, circumstances are most important. You must be able to live on campus, you must be able to study full-time, because it is quite an intensive program.
What does the bursary cover in terms of the duration of the study? What does it cover? Does it cover accommodation, food? What does the bursary cover? The
bursary covers basically everything that a student needs in order to focus entirely on their studies. Accommodation, meals, allowances, tuition fees, books. So all the student actually worries about is getting up in the morning, going to class, coming back, doing their homework, assignments and all of that. So the bursary covers everything. They get extra classes, they get tutorials, they get extra support. So anything and everything that a student really needs, the Thuthuka Bursary Fund takes care of.
And one of the questions that were coming in from our Facebook page as well, how many candidates are you taking in for in terms of the bursaries that are available?
Yeah, this year in 2013 we are looking at about 403 first-year candidates that we're looking at. We will obviously have a few in second and third year, but in total we will have approximately 1,200 students that we're funding this year. But the closing date for the bursary fund was the 30th of October 2012. So for those people that will be coming on board, the numbers I just mentioned, the process has basically been completed. All we're busy doing at the moment is just confirming those bursaries.
Is there a particular grace period that is open up for students that missed that date but would like the opportunity to apply once again?
Today being Friday, that grace period just ended. Because we actually opened it from Monday up until yesterday to try and look at those students who would have been particularly surprised by their marks and have performed extremely well. So unfortunately the grace period has passed. We will not be looking again for any applications. It will be students who are looking to study in 2014.
And lastly, what happens to those students who might not meet the 100% requirements while they've already received the bursary? What are the repercussions for that?
Well, it's one of the things that we've noticed with the bursary fund is that students that actually get the bursary stay at university and continue to study. We work very closely with the National Students Financial Aid Scheme. So those students who would have received the bursary and unfortunately failed to meet the requirements for progression as far as the bursary is concerned, but have met the progression requirements for the university, we make sure that they are able to access funding from the National Student Financial Aid Scheme so that they can continue studying.
All right, thank you so very much for joining us. Unfortunately, we have run out of time, but I hope that everything that we've discussed has been very informative for the viewer out there at home, so thank you for joining us. We have been speaking to Nthato Selebi, the Thuthuka Bursary Fund Project Director, on the availability of bursaries in the field of accounting. So for more information, you can visit the SAICA website, which is the South African Institute for Chartered Accountants, and their website is, of course, www.saica.co.za. You can also contact them by calling them on 086 107 422. We'll see you after this.
Where's my Rusty? Where's my boy? Rusty! That's my good boy!
2 eggs, tomato, chips and toast for only 20 bucks. South Africans are making sure they rise to the occasion. Spur people with a taste for life.
1,000 kilometers to say one word. That's what my cousin did. It's a long way from home, especially for a petrol attendant who looks after his mom, his sister, and 4 kids. 1,000 kilometers to say one word. That day, he didn't just tell me to be strong, he showed me what strength really is.
Children who have heroes become heroes.
Start the year on a rich note with Lotto. 6 lucky numbers could change your life forever. Get your Lotto tickets today and be a part of the show. Live Lotto and Lotto Plus draws. One day is one day. Saturdays 9:30 on E!